Is red pill dangerous? Red pill is a very, very common term, but it's also kind of a vague term, a hard to define term. It was borrowed from the movie The Matrix, and The Matrix stole it from Alice in Wonderland. And in The Matrix, the distinction between red pill and blue pill was simple. Blue pill was to go back to sleep and keep dreaming. And the dream, as represented in the movie, was something programmed into the characters by this Matrix thing. Red pill was to set you free from the dream so you could see how the world really was. And in the movie, the real world was not as enjoyable as the blue pill dream world. And generally speaking, people use red pill to mean the same thing, the way the world really is. But for many people, the term red pill and red pill understanding is kind of an excuse for not participating in the game. Many men, for example, would love to be in a committed relationship with a compatible partner. Many red pill gurus preach that that is impossible, that a mutually enjoyable relationship is a blue pill idea. And many widely known red pill gurus recommend that men voluntarily make themselves infertile so they don't get trapped in some red pill horror story. But first, let's ask a question. Is it even possible to see the world the way that it really is? Sure, we might understand some basic ideas about human nature, how people tend to behave, the kinds of things that people want, the kinds of insecurities and deeper desires that people tend to have. But consider this interesting reframe. Suppose you are playing a game in an arcade, and if you got enough points, you get a really cool, and I mean really cool, prize. The problem was that this game is very, very complicated. You have no idea what the rules are, how you actually got points, or how you actually got into trouble. But then you found a game manual, how the game really works, the truth about the game. We could call this a red pill, the way the game really works. In the context of this metaphor, this would make you feel really good. Because you know how the game really works now, you could effectively play the game better and get more prizes. Is this the common response of guys who allegedly discover the red pill? Are they happier? Do they suddenly feel a burst of motivation because now they know how the world really works, so they can get in there, play the game better, and get more prizes? Or do people use red pill ideology to stay on the sidelines? As if red pill ideology, red pill understanding absolves them from any need to get in and play the game because it's rigged against them. Consider another short metaphorical story. To get the most out of this story, we'll be referencing some laws of influence discovered by Dr. Robert Cialdini in his famous book, Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. So let's say we have a guy named Chip. Chip tries to talk to girls, but he fails miserably. He doesn't get the results that he wants. He tries again and he fails. So Chip goes online to get some pointers. And he finds that in most online forums, there are two kind of flavors of advice. One is helpful advice, what to say, how to say it, how to respond. But the other advice is what we'll call red pill advice. This advice is more along the lines of female nature, and why female nature, particularly in today's society, makes it very hard to succeed with women. And Chip finds these arguments pretty compelling. They match up with his experience. So next time he goes out, he doesn't talk to anybody. He only observes. And Chip's confirmation bias is only happy to oblige. He sees the same thing he's read about online. So he goes back online and he starts to participate in these red pill discussions, sharing his own experiences. Every time he does this, he strengthens and reinforces his confirmation bias. Finally, he makes a few posts. Through a combination of confirmation bias and his recently recalibrated hindsight bias, he starts to believe that his failures with women are not his fault, it's the system's fault. It's not anything he did. And let's say this online community is pretty large. This already involves two Cialdini laws of influence. The first law is social proof, the sheer number of people in this community espousing red pill ideas. The second law is commitment and consistency. Whenever we commit to an opinion in public, it's very, very hard to change that opinion. This law of influence was triggered when he first posted his experience. This further solidifies his belief that it's not his fault for his lack of success, it's the world's fault. It's the environment's fault. It's because of these red pill ideas and how they describe women these days. Now let's suppose that this online community likes to post red pill videos. YouTube videos by guys that have written a few books on red pill ideology. YouTube videos posted by gurus who have hundreds of thousands of followers. This represents another Cialdini law of influence, the law of authority. Now Chip has social proof, commitment and consistency, and now authority supporting all these red pill ideas. Add into the mix the very common human tendency to externalize our problems. It's not my fault, it's the world's fault, and Chip is now trapped. Authority, social proof, commitment and consistency, externalizing, and his recently recalibrated confirmation bias and hindsight bias. Chip is now trapped inside of a psychological box of his own creation, a very compelling box. Is this dangerous? Well, if Chip started out this journey hoping to find a nice lady for a nice relationship, he's probably now never going to find that. He's already decided, helped along by the Cialdini laws, his confirmation and hindsight bias, the common tendency to externalize our problem, that it's not his fault. He can't get what he wants. So be careful. People meet and fall in love and have happy relationships all the time. Is it easy? No. Is it guaranteed? No. Will any relationship last? Maybe, maybe not. Will you end up emotionally and financially devastated? Maybe. So is it better to play it safe and stay out of the game completely? That is up to you. It depends on what you want. It depends on what you want, and it depends on what you are willing to do to get that. You only get one life. Do you really want to spend your life on the sidelines wishing it were easier, complaining that it's too hard? Or do you want to get in the game and get as much as you can out of life? Life is not meant to be easy or fair or predictable or safe, but it can be whatever you want it to be if you are willing to make it so. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. To learn more, please visit mindpersuasion.com.